Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing his word of sincerity and truth in the four corners of the earth. All right. And I'm going to start in Malachi 1 and 3. It says, "And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." It says, "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever." All right, indignation meaning righteous anger. Okay, but the point in this verse that I wanted to really get to was, excuse me, they shall build, but I will throw down. All right, and I seen this article on RT News. Here it is. And this is an example of Esau still trying to build, man. All right, because Trump's whole thing is, make America great again. He's, he wants to, make America the country that it was like in the 50s and the 60s and all like that. All right, with the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, he clearly says, they y'all gonna build, but he gonna throw it down, man. Excuse me, and people gonna know that y'all are the people that the Most High have indignation against forever, meaning righteous anger. All right, the scriptures say, Jacob have I loved, Jacob being the Israelites, okay, you Negro, Latino, Native Seminole, Indian, and Esau have I hated, you so-called white people, man. All right, but let's get into this article. Excuse me. Trump signs USMCA trade deal predicted to create over 500,000 jobs, 500,000 new jobs in the U.S. All right. Says U.S. President Donald Trump has signed the USMCA deal with Mexico and Canada into law, fulfilling a campaign promise to overhaul NAFTA, which is the NAFTA, which proved disastrous to American manufacturing after its passage 16 years ago. It says the signing on Wednesday capped off a lengthy legislative journey for a deal the three countries drafted over a year ago and sent it off to Canada for final approval. Mexico signed the deal in June. And this is a video, let's see if it play, of him signing the deal.
Not your favorite. Last time, we don't have to do it.
Which this deal, him signing that and these people clapping means nothing, because going back to the scripture, Malachi, whereas Edom say we are impoverished, all right, but we will return and build our desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, man. All right, meaning anything that you try to establish, you Edomites, that you try to establish, at this point in time, will not come to fruition. All right, will be a lost cause, if you will, right? It's not gonna happen for you. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. All right, but continuing on in the article, the USMCA passed the Senate by an overwhelming majority earlier this month and finally passed the House in December after languishing there for over a year of drawn-out negotiations between the chamber's Democratic majority and the president's trade representative. Nevertheless, House Democrats were quick to take credit for the deal becoming law. The only reason that the president is having this signing today is because of what we did as House Democrats. House Ways and Means Committee Chair Richard Neal, Massachusetts, preened on Wednesday. All right, which also is, if Satan's house is divided against itself, how can it stand? All right, because, the Democrats over there talking shit, but it doesn't matter, man. Like I said before, referring back to Malachi 1:4, the Lord said, they shall build, but I will throw down. None of this shit is going to work. America is not going to ever flourish as it did in the past. It's over. The prosperity of America is over. Period. But continuing on, this is C-SPAN. And I guess this is just the dude I play, but I'm pretty sure this is just him saying the quote that I just.
Then in about an hour or so, the President of the United States will be signing the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. I want to say that what the President will be signing is quite different from what the President sent us. And because of the work of the House Democrats under the leadership of Richie Neal with his task force, and made tremendous differences in what was proposed originally and what the President will be signing today. I hope he understands what he's signing today. And it's about with the differences in enforcement, about protecting American workers, protecting the environment, and the prescription drug piece of that. You have this. I'm not going to even read it or reference it more than I already have. But to say that because of the work of our chairman of our Ways and Means Committee and the work of organized labor, the AFL-CIO and Richard Trumka, we were able to make vast improvements. If we weren't, we would not have been able to pass the bill. We would not even want it to pass the bill. But it passed with overwhelming support. And we want to do that for America's workers, America's farmers, America's economy. Just because he would be the person signing it would not be a reason why we would not do something good for the American people. I yield to the distinguished chairman.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. The only reason that the President is having this signing today is because of what we did as House Democrats. Just a reminder, you wrote about this for months. Rob Portman said this final agreement would have been something Barack Obama would have negotiated. Senator Toomey complained that it was too democratic and it had too many protections in there for labor rights. John Thune said this was too democratic. And today they're having a ceremony that if this original piece had been offered up to us that the President submitted, it would never have made its way out of the Ways and Means Committee. And recall that because it's a tax issue and a tariff issue, it originates in the Ways and Means Committee and in the House of Representatives. But we went to work on it with the task force that the Speaker and I assembled. We engaged in intense, sometimes fiery negotiations with the U.S. trade rep. And here's what we achieved. By any objective standard, stronger provisions for workers, sounder funding mechanisms to implement the labor and environmental positions, and a better enforcement mechanism than any trade deal in American history, and this is the largest one to date. And on top of all of that, we preserve Congress's right in terms of freedom to bring down drug pricing. If anybody said that at the beginning that we could get the AFL-CIO and the Teamsters to endorse this trade agreement, you would have all been very dubious. Instead, they did because of what we were able to build in to the agreement. Anyone who thinks that the President's proposal as originally submitted would have gotten out of the Ways and Means Committee, that's nonsense. It's possible that what they're signing today, I'm not even sure that some of them might even comprehend what they're signing. That's how far-reaching this is. But in the end, it was our priorities that made this happen. 193 Democrats in the House voted for the trade agreement. 192 Republicans voted for it. In the United States Senate, 90 members of the Senate voted for the trade agreement. My point is that they voted for it for one reason. It's because of how we shaped and altered the President's proposal that came up originally before the Ways and Means Committee and the task force had a chance to alter it.
So basically, that's just Democrats, taking credit for, this bill or whatever that's getting signed that isn't going to come to fruition anyway. It doesn't matter, all right? But, excuse me. It says House Speaker Nancy Pelosi chimed in to praise the tremendous differences between the original agreement and the final version, unable to resist getting in a dig at Trump. I hope he understands what he is signing today. The deal imposes stricter sourcing rules on the auto industry, requiring car manufacturers to have more of their parts made in one of the three countries in order to qualify for zero tariffs. Now, that's a big part of this deal, all right? Because, you know, we all know that America doesn't really manufacture anything. So what is Trump's trying to do to bring America back into prominence is he's trying to make it like in the Ford. You know, I was gonna say you remember, but shit, I wasn't alive neither. But we know American history, like the manufacturing days where America actually made things. You know, like auto parts and all that shit. And they made things domestically instead of getting it shipped in foreignly, from a foreign source rather. All right. Now this is Trump's, you know, once again his plan to bring America back to prominence as a manufacturer. But going back to the scripture, they shall build, I would throw down. You know what I mean? This shit ain't gonna work, man. It says, and a significant percentage of those parts must be made by workers earning at least $16 an hour by 2023. Who says it's gonna be a 2023, man? All right, the way shit is, and it could. Who knows? You know, we don't know. We just hope. Like the scripture say, prisoners of hope. You know, we just hope. But you know, I highly doubt it. You know, it's gonna be a 2023. But we'll see what Yahweh Shai has in his plans. But it says Mexico has adopted stricter labor protection laws that will allow workers to unionize. The USMCA also opens up access to the Canadian dairy market for U.S. farmers, extends copyright protections 20 years, and exempts big tech from liability for content produced by its users. Some 80,000 new jobs and $30 billion in new investments are expected to be generated in the auto industry alone, with a total of 589,000 new jobs created under the USMCA. According to the International Trade Commission, U.S. GDP is expected to get a 1.2 percentage point boost from the deal. The signing of the USMCA came less than a month after Trump secured the first phase of a long-awaited trade deal with China, the U.S. largest trading partner. Trump attracted significant electoral support in 2016 with his promise to renegotiate NAFTA, the 1994 trade treaty that proved an unmitigated disaster for American industry as companies fled south to Mexico, where manufacturing was significantly cheaper. All right. Now, getting back to the scripture, whereas Edom saith, Malachi 1:4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and that's what's going to happen. All right, every plan to bring America back to prominence will be foiled. It's not gonna happen, man. All right. Just like when somebody in their prime, they look like a lot of brothers in the boxing. You know, once a boxer, he in his prime, he knocking everybody out like Deontay Wilder right now. He knocking everybody out. You know, he gonna get old. You know, if America had that time, he'd get older, and that power in that right hand ain't gonna be the same. And it, you know, just, you know, equivalating that to America, you know, well, excuse me, America being a punching power, all right, it's not the same. It's not gonna happen, man. There is not gonna be no innovation to bring America back to prominence as it was in its quote-unquote prime. All right, this place is done. All right, so I just want to make that quick video, man. I hope it was edifying. But then I'm gonna say shalom.